Yes, people, what's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, on this wonderful Friday night, we are going to be covering everything around the Premier League. I should have done this yesterday. Maybe I could have even done this Wednesday, but we're here. We finally done it, and we got a lot to talk about. Grimsby Town. Manchester United lost to Grimsby Town. Wagwan with that. We got to talk about that. Also, there's just so much other things we need to discuss today. We can talk about Isak to Liverpool, Newcastle getting a new striker, so many other potential ins and outs and things that we need to discuss, plus Arsenal getting some transfer business done. The UCL draw happened. That also was another factor that we need to speak about at this point of the window. Everyone's window is almost wrapping up. Who needs stuff still? What's going to happen? Can Arsenal go away to Anfield, get a result? There's just so many little things we need to discuss on today's video, and I'm going to have a wonderful panel for you guys. Deo is going to be joining us. Vader is going to be joining us most likely. Ahmed, United fan, hopefully will join us at some point today. Jay will hopefully join us also. And yeah, let's begin. But before we go any further, hope everyone's doing well. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I've never gotten this question before. I don't think I look Sudanese. I'm Somali, brother. But yeah, it's not too far, but I think we look distinctly very different. So yeah, I'm not Sudanese, but yeah, let's get into it. First, we got Rack in the building. Hope you're doing well, Rack. How's everything? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I'm Sudanese, by the way.
No, you're not. I did wrong continent, to be fair.
I know.
Then we got another guy. He's African, but he's definitely not Sudanese either. He's on the other side. He's on West Africa.
Oh man, hold on. I need to do this. Why do I have this circle thing here? Because
what is that, by the way? It looks like you have that's two of you.
Yeah, I have an inset on it. I'm going to take it out now. I turned on my ATM control, which I was using for something else for work. I should have turned it off.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody. And yeah, me and Hussam today were on TV. Crazy, yeah.
I heard something about this, which is a Fanzone something, right?
Yeah. So it's like I think majority of African coverage, majority African and like Asian coverage of the Premier League. You'll see it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you can see it here in the Premier League, but that was pretty big. Me and Hussam were going head to head speaking about the previewing the Liverpool game. They were talking about combined 11s. They were talking a little bit about
your specialist subject to go.
They were talking a little bit about our yeah. You know what? We were debating, can you change a formation in a combined 11? Are you allowed to do that? It's on beIN Sport, and it's also on sports something, Super Sport in Africa and stuff. Yeah. Was it on beIN Sport?
Someone clip it up and share it, man. That's what the internet is for.
I don't think you get copyrighted if you share
it. Yeah, people, you know the funny thing about copyright, you do realize that if you speed up the clip a little and if you scale it down, like instead of making it full screen, if you scale it down and you speed it up a little, you're done. It's not copyright anymore. You know that, right?
I don't want to risk it, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, I know, but I'm just saying it's the same thing for TV because I worked in TV for years. Like same thing for TV stuff. If there's something about 11 seconds of copyright law that you can use as well. You can use 11 seconds of something, regardless of what it is. It's fair use.
Fair use.
Hey, before we get into all the other stuff, because it's transformed content. Yeah, I hear that, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it for the biscuit. And we'll just have a conversation about it, and we'll keep it moving. But before we go any further, the rest of the boys are going to be joining us very soon. Hopefully, Ahmed sees my message because I don't think he's seen my message. But when it comes to the rest of the boys, they should be making their way here. I just want to quickly talk about the transfer window for 1 second. This has been a crazy transfer window, boys and girls. Everyone in the chat, let me know what you guys think. Has this been a ridiculous transfer window? Boys in the panel, has this not been a ridiculous transfer window?
It has, man. I think that this transfer window changes how the Premier League will be this season. Like, it's crazy. Like, I didn't think that all the teams who could be challenging for the title would go all out like this in one window. It's almost like everybody's going all out in one window. Like, if you look at what City have stocked up with, mad. If you look at what Liverpool is doing right now, insane. What Arsenal is doing, mad. It's like what's going on is the question. Now it's about who really wants it, because nobody has an excuse at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to tell me that, Isak going to Liverpool, then Liverpool fans don't win, and they'll be like, oh, well, it was no. This is who wants it now. This is what it's come down to, and I like this. I like this for the season. Like, who wants it the most will do everything right in every game, you know. And these are the games that count. This game against Liverpool are the type of games that count. These are the games that are going to decide whether or not, you know, we win the league or they win the league.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever known so many teams to be this active. Like, even Manchester United have splashed 200-something million pounds in the position they're in. Even though Spurs have been knocked back a few times, and Newcastle have been knocked back a few times, both of those guys are going to be spending over 100 million at least, right? Maybe even up touching 200 million. So it's a first. I wouldn't expect to be everybody to be this active next summer, because I think teams will maybe see what they do. But this summer has been unprecedented for sure. And people, there's still getting more to come. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if in the next few days we see 600-700 million pounds spent in the final day.
I'm actually waiting to hear the total amount of money that was spent in this transfer window. You know how, like, at the end of the window they let you know, like, how much is spent. If I had to take a guess right now, dude, I think we're closer to the billions than we realize, because you're talking about between Liverpool, Arsenal, and City alone, the average we spent is almost 280 roughly. So, those three already crossing over the 600 million mark, almost 700 million. Not to talk of the rest of the clubs.
The Premier League alone,
Premier League side smashes transfer record as spending past 2.6 billion. That's what Sky Sports said yesterday.
I think the Premier League have spent more money than the other top 5 leagues combined.
Of course.
Yeah, that's not surprising. But like, Sky Sports was saying 2.6 billion as of 2 days ago, right? Damn. And since then, well, WOLTEMADE has just come through. That's like 80.
You know what? This is a good segue. Welcome, Ahmed. Hope you're doing well, bro. We're not going to start with Chelsea. You get a little break of the Garnacho talk for one day. Let's start with this WOLTEMADE. And I know you watch the Bundesliga. You're a big Bundesliga guy, right?
This is not true again. I don't watch the Bundesliga.
Every time Ahmed comes on, people slander him and say he's a big Bundesliga fan. And it's not. He watches Serie A. Serie A and the Premier League is his main thing. Yeah.
Serie A, Premier League, and Ligue 1. That's the only three leagues I watch really consistently.
Okay, but this guy was linked to Chelsea. Did you not take a look at him?
No, we weren't really that linked to him that heavily, I'll be honest.
He's only Bayern, right? Everyone thought he was going to Bayern.
Yeah. The big one, everyone thought he was obviously going to Bayern. That obviously did not take place.
Let me show you guys the inside scoop. This is him inside the stadium. He's done.
The thing for me, though, is like he's only had 17 starts. I'm not going to say that he's a bad player, because I don't think he definitely isn't a bad player, but like 90 million euros for me for a player of 17 starts, he looks like he's a lot more potential buy. It's kind of crazy.
That's hilarious.
Bro, Liverpool did the same with Ekitike.
The difference in Ekitike is different, because Ekitike actually broke out initially in Ligue 1.
In France.
He then had and then he had like a bad period because he went to PSG, and he went to PSG at the wrong time. Listen, before I finish, let me finish quickly. And then he went to Eintracht Frankfurt, and he played there for a full season again, and actually reproduced what he was producing in Ligue 1 again.
Ekitike, I'm saying that what Ekitike scored for Frankfurt was 15 goals last season before he was bought, and he wasn't the top striker at Frankfurt at that time. It was Mamouche before Mamouche left. As in, Mamouche was the one killing it in Frankfurt before he went to City.
But they were playing a two-man formation.
What I'm saying is most people were not even aware of who Ekitike was until after Mamouche left, and people were like, "Oh, this Hugo guy is actually good." I'm not saying what Liverpool did is wrong. I'm saying that's what the market value is now for this type of like it's what the market is asking. And if you're not going to play the big boy game, then don't go into the market. That's how I look at it.
You know, my
ridiculous.
easiest way to dumb it down to anybody who doesn't watch football, potential costs more now, to the point where players like Ekitike, like this guy, are going to cost so much money. And then guys who are 26, 25, 27 in their prime also cost a lot of money. The only people who are really cheap are like if they're just coming out of the academy and they're very young, or if they're a little bit past their best and they're in their 30s. Everything else costs big dollars.
Again, you have to realize, like, as the market gets more and more expensive and more money is put into the media, and there's more tournaments being made, and there's more money in the whole of football, the player prices are going to go up. Clubs are going to demand a little bit more, which is crazy. I don't agree with it, but it's just
no. But the thing is, it's a market that's built around the Premier League, though. Right?
Yes, no, yeah.
This is the thing. It's the Premier League that's the catalyst for this. Like Bayern have been trying to. I think Bayern's first bid was 45 million euros. I think
they were trying to get this guy for a total package. I think it was like 50 to 55 million. I actually because I had a look back at when they did the transfer. The thing is, Rak is absolutely correct here when he talks about with the Premier League being like the center for transfers. Like I was actually listening to like a really great podcast with a couple of like sports writers, and they were making the point, man. The money that we've spent like something like 3 billion in the Premier League. The next biggest is the Italian league, and I think it's something like a quarter of a mil.
Ahmed,
$250,000.
let me give you some inside information. A company called DSTV in Africa were the ones who usually used to show like the Premier League in Africa, and they used to do something.
I know you're talking about.
They used to do something called the closed bid, and it was like £4 million to get the license for you to be able to show the games for the season. And another company came up called High TV, who eventually like wanted to buy the rights, and High TV went to bid about 30 or 40 million pounds to get the license. Automatically, the Premier League is like, oh, that kind of money is available in Africa, and this is just West Africa that they're showing it on DSTV. Southern Africa.
Exactly, South Africa.
No, but you have to realize that what I'm saying is like, then more money comes into the EPL. The more money that comes in there, the more players want to come there, and because broadcast rights alone, bro.
Yes, that's the big thing. Yeah. So before I know you want to go here, guy. Before you go, it's actually like a good thing because like the podcast was making a great point that if you look at all these other leagues, right, their broadcast deals are really bad. Like the Bayern one, like the fact they have to now listen. I'm not saying obviously, I forget the gentleman's name. That's the United stand. Goldbridge, yeah, it's not like a but
he's live right now with the Bundesliga. That's crazy.
Right. But like, you know how crazy that is that they have to like because their thing is so poor that they're having to now rely on like a YouTuber to hopefully maximize their
generate some interest.
So the EPL
the first day 22K. It's so accessible. It's really good. It's a good idea.
Yeah, but it also shows. Listen, it can be a good idea. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but I'm also saying it also shows you just how dire like the league is in terms of like trying to sell the rights internationally.
I'll give you an example.
Look at the French league, for example. They don't have any rights in the UK right now.
But the point I'm making still stands. Even the French league is terrible too. I'm not saying that it's right, but if you look at a lot of these leagues, German league, French league,
a lot of them are struggling. For example, here in the US, you know that you can only watch the games here on Peacock and on Sling TV that has USA. So that's crazy. You have to have 2 subscriptions to be able to watch.
Hold it down for 1 second. Little boy will up.
Okay, no problem.
But the thing is, the crazy thing is the Premier League's TV deals, their broadcast deals, the domestic deals are actually game for game. If you divide the amount of money they're getting per game, domestically, it's actually going down. So we're off. Their packages show more games, but the price is staying stable.
But it's the international audience.
The biggest growth is the international audience.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%. That's where the money is.
But what it comes down to, probably at its core, is free market in the Premier League. Yeah, we have free market forces, and we branded the shit out of this bad boy. Yeah,
that's what they did. They made it into a business class.
So when it started, like even like obviously I'm a little older than you, but they used to have like the little lion roaring and like all that sort of stuff.
Remember the Barclays sponsorship when it used to be like,
the Barclays, bro.
The Barclays.
All right, guys, I think that's enough on this. Let's get back to the transfer. WOLTEMADE.
No, it's called. It's WOLTEMADE, mate. It's WOLTEMADE.
WOLTEMADE. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing people's name. So Nick is headed to Newcastle for 80 million.
Are you saying that
Just
Isak's
call
going
him
to be
Nick.
London transfer? Are you saying that Isak's going to be the London transfer?
Hold on. He just called this guy.
I'm just gonna say it now. I'm just gonna
like
say it
he's his
now.
old friend, long lost
One second.
friend from
I'm
school.
just gonna say it now, guys.
Big Al,
Alexander Isak to Liverpool. Here we go. It's done. It's gonna happen.
Big Al,
It's
Big Al,
going to be. I feel like it's going to be like a deadline day transfer.
did you-
And
did you-
Brock's going to be on here Monday.
It's gonna be like a
Gonna be here on
WWE
Monday.
announcement.
Looking here to deadline
It's gonna be
day.
like
You
a
know what I mean?
WWE
Asking him.
announcement.
You know what I mean?
What
That's
it's gonna be? It's gonna be a WWE announcement. You're gonna get Triple H coming on mid thing and be like, "Look at the screen." That's basically what it's gonna be. But hey, talk to me. You can already tell Rack is smiling ear to ear.
Well,
Isak's gonna join.
Yeah, man. It's like this Newcastle strike. Like, obviously, there's level. This is the thing, and we'll talk about Simmons later. Yeah, but it's the thing about Bundesliga. Like, I've never been that guy to rate Bundesliga attackers or creative players. I automatically start with -1. Yeah, you get 20% Bundesliga. Like, whatever numbers you're putting up in Germany, 20% Bundesliga tax immediately, right? That's even before I've put my Trump levies on the rest of the statistics that you're bringing over. Yeah. So I'm looking at these players, and listen, he looked good being an overage player in the under-21s. Yeah, like he was overage. Yeah. Now you come into a team, you know, you got good feet, you got this, you got that. I heard similar about Xerxes. I heard about his feet. I heard this, I heard that. The pace of the league's the pace of the league. I think he'll do pretty well because Eddie Howe seems to be pretty good with strikers. Like, he seems to be good at like getting that. It's a little bit of an overpay, but what isn't at this stage of the window? Like, as in you're being penalized for not being persuasive enough for your earlier targets, and also being tardy with your timing for the later targets. So I haven't got a huge. It's not like I've seen him enough to be like he's gonna flop or this or that. He's a wait and see for me. I have no idea what to expect. Also, you can say, are they gonna get a second striker? Like, they're still in for Strand Larsen. They're still in for Visa. So it could be that he'll rotate in and out. He might play in the 10. He might play off the wing sometimes. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what they do with it. But yeah, I think that opens up Isak definitely. You know what? You're not spending that money on him to then like kind of play. Nah, it's they probably
You know
want to
how
bring
much the money is? They're saying Liverpool are expected to bid 130 mil. The Telegraph are reporting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're doing it in euros, but yeah, 120
Well, that's
mil.
pounds. That's pounds.
Is that pounds?
Yeah,
That's a very fancy pound sign. And that isn't an unnecessary. Bro, that's an unnecessary.
James used to the GBP.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Brexit means Brexit. Give me a Brexit pound sign. Like, what is this nonsense?
I'm not gonna lie, you're right. It does kind of look like the euros, but there's only one line. So
that's true.
The thing, like, 150 million pounds, it was a number because there was for a long time the figure around Alexander Isak was 100 million, right? And then I think it's probably in or around like the Arsenal semi-final. He got those goals and I think home and the away leg, and then all of a sudden done to 150, and that's fine. I can understand that's the number that's there to ward people off and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think anybody thinks he's really worth 150 million, even if you had the money. I don't think that's thingy. I think 130 million is a good solid
why
fee.
Why are we acting like strikers, goal scorers that are of that age? When they are for sale, they are expensive. It is.
Yeah, but 130 million is expensive.
Bro, Mbappe, obviously he's not Mbappe. Erling Haaland had a release clause, so it was a different kind of story. But majority of top forwards always went for the high end. Like Rio back when he got transferred from Leeds, that was like a ridiculous amount of money. Compare that to today's market value. That's actually close to 200 million.
No, so Rio Ferdinand, I can't remember, it was 30 or 27 million pounds, right? He went to Manchester United. He 2 seasons prior to that, he went from West Ham to Leeds for 18 million pounds.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, I'm not sure what how the inflation looks and all that kind of stuff, but 130 million pounds is by some distance a British record transfer fee.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like because what that figure's always been has been like a fantasy figure, really. Like to what no one's actually meant to pay it. It's meant to just ward off people from wanting to buy your players. But now you get into a point where Liverpool kind of hamstrung themselves a little bit by buying Wirtz in the same window because it sets Newcastle's valuation at 120 minimum. Yeah, because it's like, so I feel like for what he is and what you're getting, I feel like Liverpool will look at Ekitike's start and be thinking to themselves, we don't want to overpay here. Like, but they're also in for a penny, in for a pound. Do you know what I mean? That like at this point, you're in too deep now. And I'm really intrigued.
Job, man.
That's what I'm saying. You've got it. Like, even if you're buyers for more.
Put up or shut up. Ahmed said put up or shut up.
And I also think at this point, I feel like if you're Liverpool, you are trying to go for life after Salah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think for me, Isak probably is that last piece you're hoping for in terms of like attacking wise. Yeah, maybe obviously you manage to still bring in someone that's on the right, obviously post Salah, but at least you have everything else sorted out before you even need to consider that situation.
You know, my wild take is...
Ahmed, if you say that though, I haven't seen what Ekitike has started doing. Ekitike also, if he puts up the numbers like Salah, this could be your Salah replacement. So the question now becomes, which I think they're going to get him. Don't get me wrong. I'm just doing the side by side, which which I think at the end of the day, you then have an Isak and an Ekitike in the same squad. That leaves Liverpool for the long term to be set for life, literally.
Exactly.
5 years.
I'm just going to say,
I think they're paying now for the future. So.
Let me jump in here. I have a wild take. They're going to sign this expensive striker and play him on the left. Is that wild?
Well, one of them is probably going to go on the left, I think.
I think Isak has the better qualities to go and play on the left. Ekitike can play both also, and they can interchange similar to how they did previously with...
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Slot play like a two-man strike formation?
Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz used to interchange all the time. Imagine a front three of Isak on the left, Ekitike up top, and Salah on the right. And my second take is the defender is the more important signing right now. Even if they don't get Isak, going and getting a Guehi, going and getting somebody else that can shore up that defense, because Konate's poor form and how Liverpool have looked to start the season, I think is more important or as important as getting a forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is obviously like Liverpool have said about fluidity in the team. It'll be really interesting to see how it all hangs together. For me, I think, for me personally, I wouldn't have built the squad the way Liverpool have built their squad. Like, if you win the title, I didn't think they needed to rip up as much as they have. But like you're saying, you're future-proofing. You have a relatively clear run at Isak, and it's almost like you might not do it this season. This season might not be your season. I think with Liverpool making these changes, like you say, left wing, when you have Núñez and Diaz, you have like a good intensity. I'm not sure whether you're going to get as much off the ball from Isak. You can get a good amount, but are you going to get the same as some of those players and things like that? So there's going to be some synergy stuff. The defenders, the fullbacks, are they going to be good enough one-on-one with the like kind of like how the team's going to be relatively exposed and stuff? And yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. Like I'm intrigued. Obviously, with that level of firepower, like every game, you could just be blowing everyone away. Do you know what I mean? Even with okay performances.
It's in the defense that I worry for them, but I don't think their defense is a problem, to be honest. I just think that everybody keeps saying how Konate is bad. Konate is not bad. People need to stop this agenda. I'm telling you.
Liverpool.
I'll say this to you. The last game that they played, the only reason you saw Konate play the way he played was after he got his yellow card. Before that yellow card, he was playing okay. But he knew that he could not afford to get another yellow card, which is why he started playing a lot less. Like Asobasai was covering up for him. I'm sure if he didn't have a yellow card, you'd see a different style of game. I think it's easy for us to look at a player and just kind of be like, oh, he's looking bad, and not put context to it. Konate is a good defender. The truth is,
Look,
Konate and Van Dijk together this season, fit all through the season, is a sure enough defense. They get Guehi, that's problems for the league. That's
look,
problems.
I think number one, defenses are built on the structure of an overall team. It's not just an individual thing. Like, you know, I think Van Dijk, for example, is better than both Gabriel and Saliba, but I think the partnership of Gabriel and Saliba is better defensively, at least, than the partnership of Konate and Van Dijk. But that's also because Arsenal play in a particular way that's conducive and to what protects them too, and we don't as much. So it's all of these things factor into it. I think Konate has been a bit iffy, and I think every single defender who plays with Van Dijk goes up a level because he makes them look better, whether it be through organisation, whether it be through encouragement, whatever the case may be. You really see the drop off when Van Dijk is not there. Like you saw when Lovren was playing with Joe Gomez or with Matip and with these guys, they were all highly questionable. So there's that. But I think as long as we get the balance and the structure right around them, I think we'll be okay defensively. The Bournemouth game and the Crystal Palace game, there were question marks, absolutely. Newcastle will be the toughest game we play this season, right? The reason I say that is because these guys, they took that shit personally. They took that shit personally. St. James's Park is a very, very difficult place to go regardless, right? But they feel like we have disrespected them. They were running around like crazy people from minute one. There will not be a more hostile atmosphere that we face this season than away at St. James's Park. And we came through it. That's it.
You know what? There's a lot to discuss today.
Let's
just get straight into the game. I was hoping Ahmed would have been here by now so we can talk about Grimsby, but I guess we'll just shelf that in case he doesn't show up. We'll speak about it at the end. As for Liverpool Arsenal, big game this weekend, boys. Big game. Third week of the season. It's probably, I said to you guys, it's probably a good thing Arsenal's playing Liverpool this early before the season started. And now it's looking like I was right because Liverpool have yet to finish up their transfer window, where Arsenal seem to be wrapping up their window, getting an eighth player, by the way, Jay. Eighth signing, by the way, Jay.
But Igal, the thing is that what you're nudging onto now is squad, right? Which is fine. Right now, Liverpool don't have major injuries to the first
and they're
team.
not gelled, the first team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Bradley's back. He's got a week of training. He should probably start the game. Yeah, Frimpong's out, but Liverpool's first team is probably there or thereabouts for this game, right? Whereas
Both are probably going to start right back.
But no, Bradley's back. So
Bradley's back. Bradley's been training all week, so
yeah.
So
and he's got a minute too in Newcastle, isn't it?
So my point straight away here, Igal, is this is where we're going to see your business, because straight away Saka's out and Odegaard might be out. So let's see Madueke, let's see Eze. Do you know what I mean? Let's see them in this game, the players that you brought in to fill up your squad. And Liverpool not doing their business is not going to be fatal for them for this game. Like, as in, it's more about the squad long term, and they can look at Chiesa will have more minutes, and Rio will play more, and we're going to get Isak. So they can rationalize that they'll be fine. I don't think they won't not be fine. I'm saying for this game right now, Liverpool, it benefits them probably taking on not Arsenal's fully fit, full first team. Do you know what I mean? That's probably Liverpool. It's probably to Liverpool's advantage that they've got that. So I'm looking at this from.
So Jay, 1 minute. You're saying it's a good time to play Arsenal?
I'm saying it's a really good time for Liverpool. I'm saying it's a good time for Liverpool to play Arsenal.
But Liverpool are home.
No, but Igal was saying that it's a good time.
I'm
to play
prefacing it.
I'm saying it's the other way round, and that's how you get Igal. That's how you get your gun snatched off you, and now you're You're going into this thinking you're the hunter.
Washington.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say, Igal. You're going into this thinking you're the hunter. I'm saying Liverpool are looking at you like, have you not seen how Salah's talking? Have you not seen how they're talking about Arsenal? You're the hunted to them. I don't think you're kind of deep in it properly yet.
Well, again, so you can say the same for both sides. It's the third game of the season, and it's always good to play your toughest opponent early because you guys are all still gelling, regardless of what you say about Liverpool. Even the Liverpool fans will tell you that their squad is not at 100% right now because they're conceding goals to Bournemouth, they're conceding to Crystal Palace. They know that they can concede goals defensively, so they're not at the place where they're like, you know what, we're firing at all guns blazing, and if Arsenal comes. There's a point you see a team playing at, and you're like, if we go there, let's just get a draw. You pray for a draw. At this stage of the season, game number 3, with the way they've played and the way we're playing, it could be anybody's game, but I fancy us to go there and do something now at this stage. Maybe 10 games down the season, I would say no, because you don't know how to be playing. But won't sit here and make it sound like, oh yeah, like nobody's been hunted at this stage. Let's be honest.
Let's park the game for a second. You said something interesting. Mo Salah's comments. Mo Salah's comments, in case you guys don't know, in my opinion, this year, the number one, Arsenal isn't the number one. Telling everyone that Arsenal are the favorites for the title this season. He even breaks it down a little bit further and goes into it and says, favorites for the Premier League title, Arsenal. They have a team, a manager that have been together for 5 to 6 years, understand their game. City and us have been changing a lot of players, but course, a team with Pep always are favorites, but in my opinion, Arsenal is. And this is one of the things that I've been saying for the longest time. Now, people can say it's mind games, people can say whatever they want, but I do think there's an element of truth to City and Liverpool looking at their team saying, we've made so much overhaul. And Arsenal, yes, we've added pieces, but really and truly, the main core of the team is still the same.
Yeah, I mean, again, here's the thing about it. I think sometimes, players say what they need to say to not put pressure on themselves as well. That's the first thing I'll say. Like, if I were Salah, I would be saying the same. I would not be saying, no, we're the favorites as Liverpool. If I'm Saka would, like, no player would say that. So I understand where he's coming from. And he's probably looking at, I mean, based on the points that he's saying 5 or 6 years they've been together, they understand themselves. He's looking at longevity and saying, but again, look at them. They're shoring up their team. Regardless of all the chops and changes that we think they're making, dude, they're still a dangerous team. That idea that, people think that Arsenal is the favorite, and so that means that we're going to... Look, the season hasn't even begun. We've already lost about 5 players to injury. We have 5 players, 5 first-team players right now as of today, which is annoying. I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are doing in training for you to be getting injured that much. We've talked about this before. But if this is how we're going to be having the same cycle of injuries, then what happens in the league?
The thing is, the same arguments that these players have are the same arguments that we have on these panels, right? There are arguments for and against every single team, right? There is an argument, as you said, as you guys have spelt out. Arsenal have been together. They've got a core. They've got a core of players, and they've added some extra bits and pieces. Whereas the others, they've been more turnover. There's an argument to be said for Liverpool. We're coming off being the champions. We've added real quality to our team. The quality there is so good that it has to gel. There is stuff you could say about City. They've got Pep, and they've got this, an experienced winning bunch. There's arguments. You can even go like Chelsea. They're hungry. They've come off winning the Club World Cup. These are all arguments that we have that these players can put forward as well.
Mm-hmm.
The players can be done on the pitch.
Let's rip the bandage. Score predictions. Can Arsenal go away to Anfield and get the win? I'll go first to start us off. I think we get the win, and I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be another 1-0, and the only way we do it is we fight defensive game the whole time, hold Liverpool off, nick a goal, and then fight to the end, just trying to keep a clean sheet away at Anfield. I don't think there's a way we go to your ground and get into a bar fight, try to go blow for blow. I think that's the best case for us to win, and I think that's how we're going to do it. Anyways, what are you saying, Rock?
I think I think this is the kind of game that focuses our mind, and the fact that we're at home. If we're away from home, I think it'll be a bit of a different issue. But it's big game, main game of the weekend, and I actually think we'll get our first clean sheet of the season and we win 2-0.
2-0. What are you saying, Daniel?
This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to say something very outlandish, and everybody's going to be like, "This guy is crazy." But I'm going to preface it by saying this: if we have to win the league this season, we have to go to Anfield and beat them and keep a clean sheet with at least bare minimum 2-0. Bare minimum. Like, and I'm saying that because I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying that's what I want them to go and do there. You have to make a statement at this stage against Liverpool, knowing fully well that they've not gelled, because they're going to come back to the Emirates. And this is your chance where you at least have a chance here, at least slightly. Set pieces, we've talked about their defensive issues. We can look at our defense and say we've solidly kept a clean sheet two games. They've not been able to keep a clean sheet. If a Bournemouth could do it, and if a Crystal Palace could be able to get goals in, we can do it, and our defense should do their business. So that's what I want them to go there and do. So my prediction again would be a 2-0 Arsenal.
But Dale, you said you have to. So therefore, if you don't keep a clean sheet, you don't think Arsenal are going to win the league. If you don't win 2-0, you don't think...
Not a clean sheet. I'm just talking about the win. If we don't win, and I think we've made it tough on ourselves psychologically. That's why I said it's for the psychology. I'm saying if we don't do that, psychologically, we've made it tougher to win the league again this season.
You know something?
Okay,
I know
just going to use the word have. That's why when you said I have to, that's why I'm like...
I know Dale for
too
too long.
Too far, then.
This is... Bro, would you change your mind on this opinion if we go out there and we get a draw?
I just think if we get a draw, we've still made it harder on ourselves this season.
But it's so early. Look, if Liverpool get a draw, I'm not throwing the towel in. That'd be ridiculous.
No, I'm not throwing the towel in. I just said it's going to be slightly more difficult than it should be. So what I'm talking about is psychological boost, right? For 3 seasons, you've come second back to back.
It's the 3rd game into the season, bro. It's not the 3rd game.
Igel, I hear you. I'm talking about the totality of what Arsenal has been. In 3 seasons back to back, you're going against the guys who came from nowhere last season. Nobody expected Liverpool to win last season. Remember this. So let's not make it sound like season began and everyone's like, Liverpool are the favorites. No, Liverpool came out of nowhere, guns blazing, and just took off. Boom. And all of a sudden, these guys take your biscuit, Arsenal. That's what they did last season. No, this season we started.
You took your custard creams.
Yeah, they did,
man.
All right, let me hear from Ahmed. Ahmed, I see you're getting happy. You just got to hear you go. We're going to talk about that in a second. But go ahead, man.
Here we go.
Yeah, Chelsea just got to hear we go.
I don't even know that seat. I've been away from the internet too much.
Just not to distract everyone. This is what it is. Or is it a here we go soon? No, it's a here we go. I don't know who this guy is.
Brighton. Developing Brighton players. Mad.
Yeah, Chelsea turned into a development team.
Now, when
PSR
must be tight.
Have we just realized that we do this already? What's going on? Have people just realized that we are a developmental squad? Like, you know what?
But to loan a Brighton player with no buy option seems a bit.
For me, I don't understand what that's about.
The best tweet I seen today was the guy who said, "This is Maresca addressing the Chelsea players," and he shows Freddie Queen at the concert. Oh man, Freddie Mercury.
You have more players than us right now, but listen.
What do you reckon?
I forgot about the Strasbourg team. That's basically yours too.
Yeah, but listen, that's what happens when you have a good multi-club model. But what I will say, of course, is that I think, I know a lot of people think that Arsenal are gonna probably win this game, and I'm gonna be on the opposite end of this. I actually think Liverpool will probably win this game, in my personal opinion. I don't think, obviously, the Anfield factor is a really big thing in general. Whenever we come to stuff like this, I think Anfield always is quite a hard stadium to play at in general. Now, do I think this game could end in a draw? I think all likelihood it probably will end in a draw, but I don't know why. I just feel like, there's just something in me that's like, I've got a feeling of mine. I just feel like Liverpool's going to win this game. And I think it'll probably be like a 2-1 Liverpool.
IJ?
So I've listened to everybody's points and I've managed to crowdsource an opinion for this game. Whilst sprinkling in a little bit of my own take on top. So here's my thing. Arsenal's wins Liverpool's games. I don't know how good the opposition per se relative to each other is in those games that they played against each other. So for me, if you actually look at it, Bournemouth are better than United and Newcastle are better than Leeds. So Liverpool have played harder games against more competitive teams and come through them. Yeah. Arsenal didn't look great against United. Yeah. Yeah, they swatted Leeds, but how good are Leeds? I don't know. Do you see what I mean? So coming into this game, the relative levels of both teams, then you take Saka and Odegaard out, and I'm starting to think, okay, good Liverpool versus good Arsenal, I think Liverpool win this game because what Arsenal have missing is enough for me to be like, yeah, I think Liverpool played good teams, yeah, and they got through it. Performances might have been a bit sticky at times, but now they're playing at home against Arsenal. I think if they both play to their potential, Liverpool win this game. So I'm going to go with Liverpool 2-1 because my idea here is that whilst Arsenal were impressive against Leeds, it's Leeds. Arsenal against United were not great. Yeah. So I don't know whether or not where is the truth in Arsenal's level this season? Is it what they showed against United?
I can say the same for Liverpool though. They didn't look good against.
That's my point. That's my point. That's why I'm saying if both teams play to their potential, I think Liverpool win this game because I don't know the level of these teams because relatively the teams they've played are different. So
Hey,
me, I'm going Liverpool 2-1.
That's his opinion. That's why he's here. We need to hear a difference of opinion. Let's not argue every single
I
point.
agree. I was saying I agree with what he said. I was just saying that it's both ways.
No, I'm not saying my logic is sound. I'm just saying that's how I'm approaching this. I actually don't know how
Some
good
people say your logic is not logicking, but some people say it's fair.
But I'm saying Newcastle away is a tough game. Yes, they got battered, but for example, Arsenal often go to Newcastle and lose.
But you know something? People said last year.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's hard for me. Like Rax made a good point. It was war. I don't like how Liverpool played against 10 men, but they did get the W. Just as they got the W versus Bournemouth. They got firepower. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see how things work out. As for the rest of the video, we need to talk about some things. And unfortunately, we don't have a Man United fan here, but we need to touch on the Grimsby defeat. How the hell do Manchester United lose? How? Can we all admit, Ahmed, Jay, that is embarrassing. Have you seen?
But the thing is, on the game, yeah. When I saw it was Grimsby United, I said, let me go check Grimsby's record this season. I seen they won 3, drawn 2. I said, these guys haven't lost this season, you know. I said, this I'll be like, it's League 2. I'm like, I remember when we lost to Colchester one time. Like, if you're not feeling it, I looked at the weather report, said 7 degrees, rain. I said, so I looked at the team sheet, I saw Onana, I said, we can ask. Quick question. I don't watch the league. No, let me just say, I don't watch League Cup round 2. It is not on my. It's not on my Netflix.
Not on your radar. It's not.
Bro, no one's on my radar, man.
I sat my ass down. I was there from kickoff. I was settled. Phone on do not disturb. I was thinking something could happen, Igal. I can't lie.
Bro, it's what happened in the game and what happened after is mind-boggling. First of all, Sesko played 90 minutes, and what do you call it? After that, in the penalty shootout, he was 10th in the penalty shootout.
This is how I know, Igal, you are pure agenda because there was so much.
No, I'm not done. I'm gonna touch on everything. One second. I'm not even remotely done. Ruben Amorim during the game was using magnets to work his tactics mid-game. That
was a great meme. That is like an actual Hall of Fame meme, but you know people are gonna be using that now, man. When you're trying to like,
there's more. What else happened? These guys played a Premier League caliber team, a team that you could play in the Premier League versus some of these teams, and they struggled versus League 2 side. Forget about that. There are 2 new signings, missed the penalties in the penalty shootout. Their manager after the game spoke about how the players were on his case. And today, in the press conference leading up to the weekend's game, you know what he said? Sometimes I consider quitting.
Yeah, of course. Don't you?
You know what it is with him, yeah. I'm gonna start this quickly, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
The thing for me with the manager is that I really feel like he's a very emotional manager, and I don't mean that like, obviously as like a negative or positive thing, but like I really feel like he's a guy when he's in
Conte energy.
Yeah, like he's in 100%, bro. Right, and like I feel sorry for him because I've always said this, United generally is like culturally like cooked. It's just rotten to the core.
Culturally cooked.
It is. It needs like a genuine cultural reset, and like my main thing, like any manager that goes there, they just look like, you know, a broken man every time they've left that football club. So I just genuinely feel sorry for him. I don't even feel like I can even hate on the manager, but I just feel like for his own career's sake, I would just suggest him to leave because there's no point of you being here, honestly. And
I get what you said, and I think
sorry, Jay. There's something I want to say about what Igal said about what the manager said. We should always say it in context. The guy did actually say those words, but then he went on to completely say, I know that whether we win or lose, the press will come back and use these words against me like I meant, or I don't like my players, or I don't like this. No, that's not what it means. I'm saying this as a human being. There are days when I like what I see, and there are days when I do not like what I see. And we have to put that context around it and not make it seem like he says, oh, I just want to quit, because it's unfair to do that. It just makes it sound like
it's true. It's true.
He did clarify what he said.
They always 100% right. Like, of course, it's funny. If when you hear the line, I've thought about quitting. Of course, that paints it in one light. But you have to, if we're being fair, and like we're here for the jokes and the laughs and all that kind of stuff. But let's put it fair and put it in the correct context.
And I think as well, just to add to you, because obviously seeing as we're sharing, I feel like using a tactics board is fine. Nobody cares.
Not against Grimsby. Not against.
That's my point. See, there, you should be allowed to use a tactics board at any point. I'm just saying, at that point, if I knew that I needed a tactics board to beat Grimsby, I might quit. Like, because that's the. But I feel like at that moment in time, you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my god!" And I just see him looking down, and it's like you shouldn't need a tactics board to beat Grimsby. I get it. But he's a coach. He's allowed to do it. And I feel like, for me, I've had a coach that coaches a back three in content. Yeah? So I know you can get immediately, like, even if you don't have the right players, you can get a level of synergy in your performances. Yeah? So I'm watching Amorim, and I'm just like, everything that could go wrong went wrong in this game. Yeah? By the way, Sesko, they said he had cramp. And also, my thing is Maguire should have been in the first five because Maguire is an excellent penalty taker. I don't know why he wasn't in the first five.
He has balls of skill.
I think the player decided who was going to go first because the manager. Did you see him? He sat in the dugout, man. The guy just sat there. He didn't even look at the penalties. So I don't think he even was like, And again, this is where the humanity you can look at the human side of things. Yes, he's a manager. Yes, we love football. Yes, we love to banter. But even you as a manager, no matter how bad you are, you have this quality of players. What are you telling me that Mbeumo and Cunha and Ahmad and what's his captain Bruno cannot do something against Grimsby? This cannot even, like, where is the pride that you're playing for a badge against Grimsby?
It gets worse. It gets worse. They lost to a League Two side in the cup. They're out. Now they're going and facing a newly promoted side, Burnley, at home in the Premier League. Surely they can't lose to Burnley. Ahmed, what are you saying?
Well, listen. By the way, just before you go, I've played Burnley this season. Burnley are better than people think. Like, Burnley are all right. Like,
will Burnley play Manchester United out their own yard?
You know what? I think
is it Old Trafford or is it Old Trafford or is it?
It's at Old Trafford.
Okay, all right.
The thing for me is that Burnley had got a good goal against them. They had a really good bounce back game against them. If you look at that game in particular, I actually think this game is going to end in a draw. I actually don't think they're going to be able to beat them. I think it'll probably be like a 1-1 or something like that against them. I don't see, but I don't think Burnley have enough firepower to like beat them. But I also think they're still prone to making mistakes. I think it'll probably end in a 1-1. But I want to actually make one comment quickly before I let you guys continue. And it's about Onana. Onana, he consistently keeps getting worse. By the way, like in this game in particular, like he actually like he's lost his wrist or something now because like he'll be acting like if you look at the penalty shot, he'll make the save, but because his wrists are so weak or something, like the ball just goes in. So which is
no, a few times in the penalty shootout, you got decent hands to the ball, right? You got a decent hand to the ball. And it just
even the first goal, first goal, strong.
Somebody said he was Amorim out.
People with a stronger wrist keeps that out. The first goal that United conceded, and I think it's like that's the big thing for United too. Once they get a competent goalie in, they're probably going to improve a reasonable amount because they are just they're like throwing a ball in the net a week kind of thing. Like so. Yeah, I think United. I just don't think long term they're spending a lot of money at it. I don't think. Listen. I don't know what United want to do with Amorim. I don't know how long they're going to give him. I don't know if they're thinking Southgate could come. Southgate could do okay with this squad. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, because sometimes when you, I'm making
Southgate would do. Do you know what Southgate would do? Even though, listen, I know we joke about it a lot. I actually think Southgate could do the cultural reset thing that they need.
Yeah.
Ironically, he might actually be able to. That's what he might be able to at least do for them, which might be the most.
If you buy him good enough players, he doesn't need to do too much. He just needs to set them up properly.
But you know the crazy thing, right? Is this thing has come out. You you said just now about him being Amorim out, right? Kobbie Mainoo today has requested to go out on loan, right?
That's
itself,
wild, yeah.
Yeah, but why? But okay, but normally a player wants to leave, right? Normally a player would want to leave, but he wants to go out on loan because he thinks, and he doesn't want to sever ties with the club because he thinks that this guy Amorim is going to be gone in 6 months. So let another manager come back in. I'll come back and then I can play for Man United again. When you think about it like that, it's a crazy situation.
But again, let me add this to what you just said, Rats. One of the things
That's wild. You're right.
One of the things that we're overlooking, Igaldo, is this. I don't think Manchester United's problem is a manager or players.
What is it?
I think this club does not realize that if they never had Sir Alex Ferguson, they would not be a big club. Sir Alex Ferguson made United what they are today. Majority of their wins came under him. Let's call a spade a spade. For many years before that, they were irrelevant. I'm not trying to diss them. I'm just trying to say for them to find another Ferguson is going to be hard. That's number one. Number two, they have to understand that when you lose someone like Ferguson, you have to be consistent and committed to one person who will help you build a style. It might take 3, 4, 5 years to get there. But once that style is built, you can then bring somebody else in. Again, Ferguson himself did not win for United for the first 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. I think 4 or 5 years when Ferguson joined them. He didn't win diddly squad with them. And then he went on to build, like in those years, he built the squad and then suddenly, boom. So again, United fans need to just realize that it's not an abuse. It's not, I'm just saying because of the way United became United, it's going to be hard to maintain it because it's hard to find that one great manager that comes in and changes everything like that. So they
might have already had him. It could have been Oli. It could have been Ten Hag. It could have been somebody. But at the end of the day, their fan base.
But the problem, what the problem is,
It definitely could have been Oli. Yeah. It definitely couldn't have been Oli.
No. The problem that you have here, listen. The problem.
Oli was the best cultural fit.
No. The problem is even if Oli, right? Oli wasn't really changing anything. Oli was just working with what he had. A lot of these guys are just working with what they have. They don't really like Bangal. Probably, I would argue, was the last manager who kind of had control over pretty much everything. You could maybe argue because like he was doing the stuff the academy, he was doing the stuff the transfers, he was doing a lot of stuff, right? So he kind of had some level of control over the actual club itself. But like after that, they've only been getting stuff that they can deal with. If that makes sense.
Look, the players in and of themselves over the years, since Fergie left, many of the players have been okay, right? Many of those players. And United during that period as a whole, arguably underachieved. They could have been doing more, right? Which tells you that it's not necessarily a player thing. And again, many of the managers have been okay. So it's been a combination of them and the backroom staff and the whole malaise around the whole club. These things, they're bad, but they can be turned around relatively quickly if you have the right people in place.
That is true.
It happened with Liverpool. It happened with Arsenal. I don't think it was ever really this bad with Arsenal, but with all due respect, in the same way, Arsenal, this fall from grace is especially spectacular because it is Manchester United.
And just think about it. They were winning Europa Leagues just a couple of years ago. They're winning cups the last 2 years. It's not like they're a bad team. They've been in the Champions League over this period. It's kind of weird, but hey, let's get on to some of these transfers.
This is the first time that they haven't been in the Champions League for 2 consecutive seasons since Fergie.
I think this is a perfect.
Every other year they were getting in the Champions League because they also had this deal with Adidas, so that if they didn't get in the Champions League for 2 seasons in a row, then their sponsorship level would drop. That carried on for 8 years. Every other year they were in the Champions League. Liverpool, we went for a period where we were like out of the Champions League for 4 seasons. Chelsea have just been out of the Champions League for 3 seasons. Arsenal went 4 or 5 seasons out of the Champions League. United have actually been in the
We've
consistent.
only been out of the Champions League technically for 2 seasons, which is
Okay.
which is actually a massive benefit to us.
Let me quickly go to the Champions League since we're here. I'm just gonna throw it to each person one by one. Tell me what you thought about your draw, and I'm gonna get it on the screen as we speak. So Jay, you're included in this. You're back in the Champions League.
Wow, you're included in this, Jay. Eh?
You know what's so funny? It's like when we didn't know each other when you were going years not being in the Champions League, and we're the Europa League holders, yeah. So obviously that's how we qualified, and we've also played a Champions League final in the last 6 years, yeah. So you saying, "Oh, you're included," is quaint, it's funny, it's very droll, but yeah, you're damn right we're included. 2 European finals in the last 6 years. Let's talk about it.
All right, let's start with Chelsea. Chelsea, we're getting honored during the draw. It was kind of annoying, but fair play to Chelsea.
They got honored. What for?
Winning it all. Something you've not done right.
For being the only club that's won every competition.
I love the game, man. I love the game. Big out to you, man.
Go ahead, Ahmed. What do you think?
You know what, man? I love the draw. I think it's a very good draw for us. You know, I think we should be beating all of these teams, barring Barcelona. Barring Barcelona and Bayern. I think that's going to be like very competitive games for us in my personal.
Is Napoli home or away?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The right hand side away.
Conte.
The left.
Yeah.
The left is at home.
For me, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, with Napoli, it's Antonio Conte, and you know you've got your European tax there confirmed. Yeah. So you know, I think for me,
yeah, you like it or not?
I like it, bro.
I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite get that at first, but I get it now.
Let's go to Rack. Rack, what do you think about your draw? Trent is coming home.
I thought Liverpool got a horrible draw, by the way.
Trent you know what? It's actually, I think it's quite hard, to be honest.
I think it's terrible.
I
know Rack is loving the Trent stuff that's been happening behind the scenes.
I think it's poetic that Trent is coming back. First game, like
he's not going to be on the bench, mate. He's not even going to be starting. I don't know if you've been seeing the news right now.
I did think it was a little bit funny, but honestly, I thought, damn, that's actually not a very kind draw because, you know, obviously the home Atletico are difficult. Madrid on their day can beat anybody. Inter Milan away, I think
all those away atmospheres are mad.
Yeah, exactly. Marseille, you know, it's a tough place to go. And Galatasaray, I mean,
Galatasaray is going to be crazy, mate.
There's only one easy game, Karabakh.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say PSV at home.
PSV is an easy game too.
Yeah,
but you know what?
PSV at home, I fancy our chances.
My thing is, nobody has it as hard as PSG. They have the toughest.
No. Real Madrid have the toughest fixture. Real Madrid.
Bro, this is tough. Barca and Bayern.
This is not that tough.
Atlanta and Bayer Leverkusen, Tottenham and Sporting, Newcastle and Atletico Bilbao. That's tough.
I'll be honest. Barring Bayern, Barcelona, that is not tough. Sorry,
Newcastle and
PSG. PSG are the best team in the world.
Yeah, man. This is not tough for them, man.
All right.
That is still pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie.
No, the Real Madrid one is a tough one. You should
compared to Arsenal. I don't know. Arsenal, we got a pretty easy matchup.
Yeah, you got an easy fixture.
Igal, can we? I don't know if you've got the clip lined up, but Igal, the clip where Igal's saying he's whisper shouting like he's obviously his son is asleep in the other room. He's like, "Bring me, Bayern." And he's got a little plaster on his head. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in ages, man. That was so funny.
Oh yeah, the "Bring Me Bayern" thing. Yeah. I used to have that clip.
This is not an easy lineup as well, man. What do you mean?
What are you talking about, man? This is easy, man.
Atletico is easy. Bayern is easy.
No, I'm saying you've got 2 hard games at home. The hard games are at home. Yeah,
I agree, but I'm saying
Club Bruges.
Oh my God! Listen to what I'm just hear me.
Compared to this, it is slightly easier.
I'm not saying listen compared to whatever you want to compare it to. My point is, at home or away, it's Champions League, it's a tournament, it's a one-off game. There's some teams in there that can harm you even at home. This is not about a 2-leg away thing. It's not 38 games over the season. This is Champions League. Like, are you saying like Inter can't
Man City got it easy?
Bayern can come do damage, or you saying like
who's got it easier, Man City or Arsenal? I think Arsenal.
Of course, Arsenal have. Arsenal is. See, you've got to go to Real Madrid away.
This year playing Leverkusen. Leverkusen are a depleted team this season. They don't have who they have before. Their manager's gone away to Real Madrid. But
we can be honest, man. We got an easy draw.
Being honest. I'm saying,
that's what I'm trying. Because the point you make it. No, because
Napoli is tough.
Just before you go, because the point you're trying to make, I'm saying it's redundant because you've got to play everyone. It's the Champions League. So relative to the Champions League draw, you've got an easier draw than you could have got. Like the harder games you've got at home, and you've got weaker teams from the other pots away.
You got a Europa League draw. You got a Europa League draw if it wasn't for PSG and Dortmund.
We got a good draw. We got a decent draw.
Yeah, it's very favorable.
It's a good draw. We got. This is a good draw. To me, in the Champions League, this is a good draw.
Yeah.
You only really, I only feel like there's only really one team that will give you problems.
Because what we've got here is, if you look at our home games, all very winnable. Villarreal, Dortmund, Slavia, Copenhagen. Yeah. Then we've got Monaco away, Bodo away, Frankfurt away. Two of those teams we played in the Europa League last year, by the way.
Yeah, they want to make you feel at home.
Do you remember the points that were being made about you won't play these teams in the Champions League? Well, won't we? Well, because we kind of are.
Fair.
Correction.
Okay. While we're here talking about Spurs, let's talk about the new signing. They got the boy Xavi Simons. And one thing I gotta say is, please stop the XL7. It sounds like you're talking about a T-shirt size. Like
that X is a terrible X, by the way. That looks like a K, mate. I'll be honest.
XS7.
No. I'm talking about the kit. I'm talking about the name. The name of the kit is like that looks terrible.
Let me tell you what happened.
So, but that's Tottenham print. That's not Premier League font.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The font is terrible.
Anyways,
Arsenal decided to yank Eze from Tottenham. Tottenham got mad and went and yanked Xavi Simons from Chelsea. They're like, Chelsea, we're going to do exactly what Arsenal did to us to you guys. And zoop,
listen.
I don't see Chelsea fans melting down about
Jay, I'm not dissing the signing. I'm saying
you. I mean, the way you framed it is a diss. You literally framed it as a diss. Like your opening line was a diss.
All window, he's been linked to Chelsea. I said, you guys have done what we did to Eze with you to them. And that's what you did, and it's good.
Not as nicely as that the first time.
Breaking news, by the way. Arsenal reached agreement with Bayer Leverkusen to sign Pierre Hincapié, package worth 52 million euros plus 10% sell-on.
Bro, this is what we do every day.
It's David Onsi, by the way. That's what I want to let you know.
This is what we do every day.
It is crazy. This is crazy going from me, bro.
Last season they were saying they haven't strengthened the team. The board are culpable. Get rid of all of them. They don't care about the team. Bro, it's like, this is what we do every day. You should put your collar up. I'll put my collar just for you, Gal.
I need, you know what I need, Rax? I need you to beat Arsenal because it's an international break. The 2 week meltdown will be delicious. Because again, listen, they spent 300. Have you spent 300 million now with no sales?
No, 260.
Surely this takes it over 300.
No.
But it's linked. This one is linked to the what's it called? The other centre back that's going out to Porto.
Hold on.
We're selling Kivior.
Eze, Gyökeres, Zubimendi.
Bro, apparently we're gonna generate
I'm just saying, how much have you spent now?
Again, you have to put in context how much he spent.
I don't know.
This Hincapié deal.
Bro, what happened to?
I'm just asking, Mikey. Relax. I'm just asking.
Jay, the Hincapié deal, this guy's deal, is not going to go into the books of this year. He's actually
it doesn't matter.
Again, that is why because if you see how much have you spent this season and you add that to it,
I'm just asking how much you spent, man. Like
I don't know the total right now. I could pull it up.
I just want to know because the thing is that like you guys have spent heavily. I just want to know how much you spent.
We spent quite a bit. Let me see.
I don't know.
There's no leading question. I'm just asking you guys.
One thing I will say is somehow we've overshadowed the Tottenham section once again.
Well, no, because he came in with Ed. Okay, let's steer it back to Xavi Simons. Yeah.
Here's what we have. Here's what we have so far, except for Eze. I made this graphic before Eze came.
This is not about. Look at this.
That's how much we spent. I'm showing you what we spent on players. You asked the question.
Calculated it. I asked you how much you spent. I didn't ask you to
do
bring the maths
You
to
do
me.
the math. I gave you the numbers.
I'm not doing the maths, bro. I asked you how much you spent.
Pull
Bro,
out your
I
calculator.
asked you how much you spent, and you bring me the math.
I pull out the prices for you there. You go and do the mathematics now. Just add in Nketiah zone, and then we'll know what in Nketiah, and we'll know what we have done.
Wonderful. Thank you. Right. So Tottenham, Xavi Simons, right? Xavi Simons, good signing. I'm probably not as high on him as some other people. But listen, I'm a Prem tax merchant. Do you know what I mean? You know, bring me. I'm a Prem proven merchant. Do you know what I mean? Bring me someone Prem proven. That's always my preference. But obviously, I'm happy with the signing. I think he's obviously going to bring us quality. I think Frank's going to do a lot with him, to be fair. I think he's going to be able to really not unlock him, but I remember Damsgaard Damsgaard is kind of like a crap Xavi Simons. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, do you know what I mean? And he really got Damsgaard playing like as well as he could possibly play. So that makes me feel confident with what he's going to do here. Obviously, the coach wants him. Now that's a window. Now, we've not bought like Arsenal. We've not bought 7, 8 players. But what we have done is we brought first teamers. We bought Kudus, we bought Paulinho, we bought Xavi Simons, all going into the first team. They make the players who are in the first team become squad players. So, you know, Bournemouth at home this weekend. He wasn't registered in time, so he won't play. But obviously, he'll be back after the international break. I think he's a really good signing. I think Spurs have done well to get the optimum output of like Gibbs White, Eze, and then they've gone for Xavi Simons. So it shows that Spurs are really trying. They're trying to go for the best quality they can get. So for me, I'm happy. This is now we've got a player that's he's gonna probably bag against Chelsea, just as I know that Eze is gonna score against us. So it's one of those where I'm not like people can say in the comments like Wild Adams he won't do anything. He's 22, tremendous upside. More proven than Eze in terms of world football. Yeah, he is. He's an international.
I didn't say he wasn't, mate.
That's what I'm saying. He is though. So I'm saying you had me.
Premier League proven.
That's what. But I'm a Prem proven merchant. I'm the one who said that in the first instance. But if you look logistically, like this is a guy that came from Barcelona. Yeah, this is a guy that was heavily touted. He could be our Odegaard. Do you know what I mean? He could be our wonder kid who was at a top club younger. So Eze being 27, with daddy issues about the club that abandoned him when he was nothing to do with me. I don't get paid enough to worry about it.
All right. You know what? One second. Guys, enough about Xavi Simons. Jay, are you going to beat Bournemouth on the weekend?
We are going to beat Bournemouth on the weekend.
What prediction?
3-1.
This Tottenham fan is making noise about a Barcelona reject that went to RP Leipzig and could not do diddly squad there as well. Just because you finally got a player that is decent, you want to start touting your mouth at Eze because he took him from you. I don't blame you. Eze chose the bigger brother. You know why? Because he looked at you and he said, you're shite. You're shite.
Absolutely.
That's why he didn't come to you. So don't do that again. Leave Eze. Keep Eze's name out of your mouth.
That's all.
You sound like most men.
Listen,
Okay, guys.
If Eze has had a good therapist,
guys, before this turns into something else, let's bring it back. Ahmed, I need your attention, please. We're gonna go to Chelsea. Garnacho. You chose Garnacho over Xavi Simons. How do you feel about that? Missing out on Xavi Simons to go get Garnacho.
Listen, I think Jay would agree with me when I say this, that if Chelsea wanted Xavi Simons, we would have paid that money. That deal would have been done and dusted. So this is why I don't really see it, in my personal opinion, as a hijack. Because I think for me, if it would be a hijack, where if I made the bid and then Tottenham just came in with a nice little jab, and bid it afterwards. So
you mean like Arsenal did? I see what you mean. I see what you did there.
You know what I mean? You see, Yeah, but like essentially at the end of the day, listen, I think Xavi's
Hold on, a good
Ahmed,
Christian boy reneging on an agreement. Couldn't never play for my club. Couldn't play for my club. Sorry,
listen, no, but
listen, sorry, Ahmed. Glad to hear.
it's all right, man. But listen, at the end of the day, listen, Garnacho, as I said before, I personally don't want the player, but if he flops at the club, I always know I'll sell him for profit. So that's the only positive I can see of it right now. And you know, the other thing I will say is that maybe, you know, obviously United, we know what it's like. Maybe he leaves that club, he goes to a bit more better environment, something can change. Maybe that's the only other hope I can really say. But we move on that one. Obviously, Bernardo is coming. It seems that we're still trying to get Fermin Lopez over the line. It seems as well, according to all the team.
Ahmed, could I just ask, in terms of Buonanotte, do you think that speaks on? Does that speak on how Gittins is being perceived after his start? Almost, is it because obviously Buonanotte can kind of play the 10, but I do feel he's better off the left. Obviously, you've got Garnacho who's going to probably be, you know, there, and then obviously you got Neto. So
I think for me, so they're bringing in what, UK?
I just realized we got him for a loan with an obligation to buy.
Yeah,
without an option.
Without an option. So he doesn't like we can match. All we've got is like matching, right? So I think the reason why we're bringing him in at the very least is that we need some right wing depth. I think that's so. There's been reported that he's here for the right wing specifically, because like and if that's the case, obviously you see what's happened to Palmer. He's had a great injury. You've got Esteval playing there as well. I think Pedro Neto, because he's been playing so well on the left wing now, I think the club maybe see him more as a predominant left winger now, rather than actually playing on the right wing for us. So I think maybe they think of it more so as like we need someone for right wing cover, and you know, obviously to do that job. And I think go ahead, mate.
Head to the puppy. Ahmed, are you stressed at all about your left wing position now? You got so many options. Do you know who's going to be that guy? Could it be Garnacho?
I think it's just going to be Neto. It'll be Neto, and then I think it'll be one of Garnacho Gittins fighting over it. And again, I think with Gittins, I think I've said this to you before, guys. Like, this guy's going to take a while to settle in. He's going to take a while to settle in. He's not going to be straight out of the traps and start cooking stuff. So for me personally, there's nothing to worry about in that case. And
what if he starts
Bundesliga tax?
Well, can I, Ahmed, one question, Ahmed. What if, in the summer, you guys had said, gone to Nottingham Forest and said, here's 25, 30 million, send us Hudson-Odoi back. Would he not have been better than some of these players that you're getting in, or at least a similar level?
The thing with Hudson-Odoi, I wouldn't mind bringing back Hudson-Odoi. I'm not one of those guys that, you know, doesn't mind bringing back an old player.
Sometimes it's better not.
But sometimes, bro, sometimes it's also better not to go back to your ex. I think with Chelsea, we've also seen that not work out as well. But ideally, if you are going to sign a left winger, as I said before, there's Barcola, there's other guys you could have gone for, but the club chose that. I can't really say anything about it. You just got to hope that you know, it works out at the end of the day.
All right. Finally, Ahmed, Fulham at home, a little bit of a bogey team. They somehow get points off you sometimes. Also, you're a close.
You only got points of us for the first time, actually, since 1979. Last year.
I mean, still sometimes.
Sometimes. He said, that's an absolute bold-faced lie.
That is a misframing of the whole situation.
Guys, forget about the context. Let's get back to the main point. Chelsea, Fulham, score prediction.
I think, honestly, it'll probably be like a 2-1 Chelsea. I think it's always...
out?
Yeah, he's not going to play. So it's going to be, listen, I think it's always a tight fixture in general, and it's a very competitive one, but I still think we'll beat those guys 2-1. It'll be nice to go 2-1. You know, it's one of those ones where it's a bit comfortable. They may get one later on in the game. That's pretty much what I would say.
And finally, guys, is anybody going to be watching Man City, Nottingham Forest, thinking that Forest are going to get a win?
Forest could do. Forest.
They're not playing Forest, are they?
What they're going to do with all the players?
I swear they're facing Forest, no?
I don't think so.
Man City face Forest, no?
It's Brighton, mate. They face Brighton.
Yeah, Man City, Brighton.
Where did I get that?
Brighton away,
you know what
away,
it is?
yeah.
I had Forest game next. I thought Man City were at home. My bad.
You need 8 hours.
That's a potential banana skin as well.
Brighton away is not nice, but I don't really rate
Brighton away. Didn't they win the league at Brighton away? They don't care, man.
Yeah, but I'm just
that was a different.
Brighton's a good example, Rax. And don't you think of like Tacticos going OTT over hype players from different leagues? Yeah, they bought a lot of players last window. I still think but they still have Welbeck as the leading striker. Do you know what I mean? Which is just crazy. They loaned out Evan Ferguson. I'm just not sure about Brighton. I don't know how good the defense is. But it's a good test because I thought City were quite light work for Tottenham. Like I feel like the game went quite what I thought it was going to go like. No, but we beat City all the time. So honestly, I'm pretty used to this. So it's not even like me being cheeky. It's like there's a way to play City, and you can get a lot out of them every time. But you have to have certain level of players in order to be able to execute it consistently. And Brighton, I just don't feel that they're consistent enough in their actions when they're playing a team like City. But I do think they can get something. Maybe, but this is a high scoring game written all over it. 2-2, 3-2 City. One of those. I'm not sure.
All right. I'm just gonna go out and say Man City, these are the kind of games they flat track bullies. They score one goal and then they destroy them. But I'm not gonna take City serious until I see like a 5-game span where they're consistently defending well and scoring goals and doing their thing. Right now it's early. They always kind of start slow also, so you can't really write them off or anything. But at the same time, call me crazy, I'm writing them off. I think Man City this season. I think Man City this season is going to be. They're not going to be that good.
Yeah, Brighton.
I'm writing them off. But I'm writing them off.
But I'm writing off, yeah. I don't do this. I
Um,
don't do the whole writing off thing. That's not me. But they're finished.
Yeah.
They're finished. Anyways, guys.
Brighton manager is crazy though. That guy plays out of midfield. Have you noticed?
Hey, they have the best manager, but their defense is a little bit all over the place. And Liverpool doesn't walk into the building before the window closes. They didn't do enough this window. And how often do you say that about Man City? And he has a huge squad. Pep hates huge squads. Everyone's going to be unhappy.
I know, but maybe Pep has changed his mind. He might hate it before. People change their minds. We can't hold the man to what he hated.
You never know, man.
He may have decided that he now wants a big squad and he knows how to use it. Maybe he spent the last 2 years learning how to use a big squad. We don't know what these guys do when we don't see them on the touchline.
Hey,
it's not my
Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I'm going to be speaking with Martin, and he's going to be.
Do you want to know why he did that? It's copium because Arteta's got a big squad this season.
No, it's not.
You can't be in the Chelsea gimmick anymore, man. You can't be.
You know something? That squad is coming in handy. And by the way, we're going to generate 85 million sales.
Hold on. See, Jay, I've always
We did that with one player.
I've always asked
that's the game.
I'm not one of those guys who wants a first 11 that plays consistently every week. No, I'm one of those guys who wants a big squad who I look at the team I'm playing this week and I can decide what players to play against them.
Hey, yo, they don't care, man. Let's see that.
That's how I look at it.
They don't care. They don't care. Agendas have to agenda.
Jay, you know what I hate the most? I hate a team that just has first 11 and you know who that 11 is. After 12 games, any good manager should be able to figure out how to
You live later?
Me? No, I'm not live, mate. I'm not live, mate.
This is not a big enough here we go for you to go live.
Yeah.
I want to be live about Bernanote, bro. You know, apparently Indy Kylan's got some news for me at 10:30, so might be getting another signing right now. So.
Hey, I don't know how good. What do you call it? Hincape is, but he's a guy Chelsea wanted, a guy that Liverpool wanted, a guy.
The thing is, we went out of the race once we got our main target because we got Hato, and Hato's a. I
wanted Hato also. I'm not gonna
lie.
Isn't
your manager begging? Isn't your manager on his knees for a centre back? Every time I see him in the press, he's like,
"Yeah, but it's a CCB he wants."
Hey, we're gonna wrap it up here. Put a ball on it. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the weekend, and we will be back Sunday night. Hopefully, the crew's all together. And yeah, you already know what it is. See you after we beat Liverpool.
We should do like a transfer.
What's the word? Today.
Like a transfer roundup on Monday or Tuesday or something.
Wait, guys. The gimmick today is name one player who you think will shock everyone this weekend.
This weekend
from your team.
For my team, I was gonna say for Liverpool works in my personal opinion, but listen, that's my hot take on that one. But for Chelsea, I'm gonna say Delap is gonna be the shock.
I think Madueke.
I think
I'm
Max
gonna
Talman
go-
is going to come in for 15 minutes. and he's
I'm gonna go with Richarlison. I got two.
Is he a shocker at this point? Is he? Like,
No,
he's
I feel like there's a hat trick coming.
It's the World Cup
There's a
tax.
hat trick
Ready?
coming at some point. I don't know when though.
Hey, anyways, everyone said theirs. Rack, what's yours?
Verts.
All right, fair. All right, we're wrapping it
What
up
you
here,
know, you
guys.
found player being in shock already. Oh, Rack's at the
That's how you
moment.
tell he's struggling. Anyways, peace out, guys.
Big up, boys.